Buckle up, Buttercup. Live from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Podcasting around the world. You're listening to the GloucesterCast podcast, a production of Joey Shimataro and Good Morning Gloucester Media. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the show with your host, Joey Shimataro, and his crew of merry castaways. No piping plovers will be intentionally harmed in the production of this podcast.
Good morning, Gloucester. I have an illustrious guest, my co-host today, Mayor Greg Verga. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Joey. Great to be here.
GloucesterCast 677, Sunday, August 27th. So much going on in the city right now, it's hard to keep track of.
Yes, it is. But we'll try.
We're going to try. First of all, I want to say kudos to the Gloucester 400 committee, and especially the volunteers that are putting in the work behind the scenes. I know, being a volunteer on a lot of different things, a lot of times it's a thankless job, but I know that Mayor appreciates the work that you guys are doing behind the scenes. I know I appreciate it. And anybody that has volunteered for anything anywhere else appreciates the work that you're doing, even though there's always the keyboard warriors that don't do anything, don't volunteer for anything, but love to take shots.
Yeah, I think the prime example, this wasn't the 400th, but the volunteers who did the fireworks, and the keyboard warriors were bananas over them. And it's like, those people put in hours. And the thing I would like to say to those keyboard warriors is, if you didn't donate time or money, you should probably not type. So the volunteers for the fireworks committee did so much work to get that ready. And not to rehash an old argument, but once those fireworks are in the ground, you either don't light them or you light them. And if you don't like them, you're basically throwing them away.
Right.
So the people say, we should have just canceled it and had that. It doesn't work that way.
That's right.
So, I don't think those volunteers liked raising $35,000 just to have them be seen, colored fog in the sky.
Yeah.
So please, folks, be patient with them. And
my theory was, do you think that they were, you know what I mean? They did the best they could with the information that they had.
Yes.
So anyway, the
other thing I'll say about keyboard warrioring, if that's the right word, is in the old days, people used to say, just write a letter of how you feel and you put it in there, but you don't send it. These days, you type it and then you hit send. There's no, let's leave it on the table and decide if I want to mail it the next day. You can't really take it back once you hit send.
Right. As a matter, I was semi-guilty of this privately a couple of days ago. Someone that I know sent in a comment to me. I was tired and something that I didn't care for, their criticism of what we had done on the blog or something, and I went sideways on the person, saying listen, it's all volunteers.
Yeah,
we're all and I went off, and I talked to my wife about it that afternoon, because the person responded to me. She's like, "Wow, what a hothead." I was just trying to, and I said, "You know what?" I replied. I said, "You know what? I'm sorry." You took out the frustration for the 1,000 thank yous are one thing, and then the one criticism is what sticks with you, and you have to get past. I know to get past that, but when I think it's just like I was tired and frustrated, and this person happened to take. So I apologize. If you're watching, you know who you are. Again, I'm going to apologize. Second, and they took it when they apologized, and I had explained the inner workings of why we do what we do. They were actually apologetic as well. So that was. Nice.
It is a tough one. People certainly have the right to criticize, and constructive criticism is just that. It's constructive. It really helps the process. Mm-hmm. But you should really think about it. As Patrick Daniel Moynihan, former senator of New York, said, you're entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts. So that's the thing, is you should really take a look at the other side before you hit submit.
Yeah.
Little PSA for the day, folks.
There you go. There you go. There's a lot going on. Pat is in the background. I should mention her because she really is a huge help. She helps me compile these show notes so we keep moving. And we have a lot to talk. We also have Julie LaFontaine joining us in a little while. But you have a lot to talk about. I know that there's a lot happening in the city. I know the people in Magnolia are thrilled right now that the pier is getting worked on.
Yeah. So I'm here to sort of do like a summer recap.
Mm-hmm.
Summer's not over. I hate to sound like the Grinch, like I'm closing it out. We still have officially another week or so to go, but I think we can extend it a little longer. But as of today, I'm going to give a little summer recap. Well, I'll start from the top. So the Moby mats, your intro with the plovers, that sort of is a reminder of where we are. Those are the mats we put down at the beach for mobility. People with wheelchairs, disabilities. They get to the
get onto the beach.
Yeah, exactly. We got those through a grant. The city, through the health department, last November at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't install them until just a few weeks ago because of our friends the plovers.
Was that the reason?
Yeah, that was the reason. But they were very successful. We've got a lot of positive feedback, believe it or not, about that. And so we're looking to use some of the ARPA money, the COVID relief money, to buy a few more to put at Good Harbor. That's where this currently is, and Wingershik. And so we're off to a good start. So Moby mats. What else we have? Schools, a lot of stuff going on with the schools over the summer. We'll just cut right to the chase. The new school opens. First day for teachers is tomorrow, Monday. First day for students is Tuesday. So the new East Vets will be opening. There were tours. I'm sure people out there had a chance to take a look up there. We got some photos. It's a spectacular building. Again, I know that there was, we can't pretend it wasn't controversial.
Look at that.
That's one heck of a. And you see the blue, dark blue, and those are they've got the sound.
Wow.
Whatever you call those. The
sound
panels.
Sound dampening. Yep.
Yes, and the stage, that's got a little side ramp to go down to what they call the green room. The music room there is great. The art room, it's a spectacular
state of the art.
State of the art, and we know it was controversial. It was the whole Matos Field thing, but the way I look at it is, the votes were taken a few years ago. Actually several years ago, for the people voted to have a debt exclusion to pay for the school. The votes were taken to put the school there. The school opens in 2 days. So it's time to stop complaining about the process. Everybody had their chance to make their case, got all the way to the state Supreme Judicial Court, and was shot down. The school's opening. We have to make the best of it and move forward.
I don't know if you got a chance to read Robin Daigle-Town's plea, which we posted on the blog and received a tremendous amount of support. And the plea was to, the usual suspects that really were anti this school in this particular place. The school is built. There are a lot of parents and a lot of students that whenever you're going to a new school, there's already, anytime a kid is going to a new school, and not even a new school, a regular school, there's anxiety that goes around it. She put out a plea to please respect these students and children. The school is opening. You're complaining about any of it and adding more anxiety to these children is really not fair and not welcome.
Right.
So I think it was the way she wrote it was really,
it was controversial right up till the time we named the school.
Yeah.
There were people who were not happy with the name. I mean, it was past and present students of vets in East Gloucester School who put together the list of names. The school committee had, I think, 4 names submitted, and we had to select one. So, but the fact is now the name is plastered on the building. The building is ready to open, and the kids are excited about it. I mean, anybody who thinks that there's not going to be a traffic snarl the first, I'll say even school year, is probably has a great imagination. I live next door to West Parish. It took a couple of years before it really eased out. So we have to be just prepared. And so I know it's inevitable that Tuesday morning people are going to be all over Facebook saying how awful the traffic is. I will predict the future and tell you the traffic is going to be difficult on Tuesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it will work itself out.
Mm-hmm. There you go. What a beautiful structure, though. Jesus. I know that Caitlin and her, oh goodness, I have to go down there. They sent Connor from East Gloucester to West Parish because it was such a beautiful, and what a tremendous experience, and good for those kids to get to experience that beautiful thing. You're going to be on. I'm going to bring Pat on because Pat. You ready to go? Can you enable your camera, Pat? I'll be ready. Pat, she's going to come on.
Yep, I see her.
There you go, Pat.
Hey.
Good morning. We're we're mid party prep, but would you like to, Mayor, address the Magnolia Pier? I've got a couple pictures here.
Sure. And then I'll circle back to the rest of the. I'll circle back to the rest of the school updates. So, so the pier, yeah. So, when I was running for office, there was some concern about the pier. We've talked about it on the show a few times that the pier was destroyed a few years back. The pier was rebuilt, and then another storm happened that wiped out the float and mangled the ramp. So fast forward, we got some FEMA money. So I came into office and I'm like, hey, what's going on with the pier? And then found out not much. So we started to get people, the right department heads together to get this thing moving. And we got the building committee, the Magnolia Pier committee reactivated, and we got FEMA money, a reimbursement from the storm that had happened. So we have the thing paid for. We have the plans. We were waiting for the permitting from the state and from the Army Corps of Engineers, which happened earlier in the summer. And this was supposed to get started early August, but the weather, I guess if it's even wavy just the slightest bit, you can't put those barges and drive those piles. But that happened last week, and you were showing the photos. The barge came in, put in the piles, and we should be good to go. It should be just a couple of weeks. There you go. So there's going to be they call it a gantry system, those two pilings in front of the little raft there. Yeah, there you go. That thing that's being driven in. There'll be sort of a lift that will enable the ramp to come out of the water with a pull chain. I thought it was electric, but it's not. It's a pull chain. So if there's an anticipated storm or other, kind of weather event, someone can get down there proactively and pull the ramp out to avoid it from being mangled. Oh. So, I've heard a lot of feedback. Yeah, a lot of feedback from Magnolia. They're very pleased about it. It's been a long time coming, but as I've said here and on other interviews, the bureaucracy of city government is nothing compared to the bureaucracy of state and federal government. So we've got all that red tape cut to pieces, and the project is underway. And unfortunately, it'll be finished just in time to take it down for the season. But next season, it'll be good to go.
It's the point is it's getting done.
It's getting done.
So that's awesome. And I know
no additional
right.
cost.
The people in Magnolia are very happy to see that. We there was a lot of chatter about it when we were down there for the block party last week. Mm-hmm. And so the people in Magnolia will be very happy. Okay, so thank you. Great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And well, anyway, I know, Mayor, that how long did it take you, or you have to reserve that barge, right? You were saying that once, and you had to get online and wait for the barge and all that stuff. How long does that take?
Well, we're talking February when we started the project, February of last year. So I don't know when they actually booked the barge, but as we saw, this barge was sitting with the materials on it about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And so there's somebody asked about water quality. I see that on the screen, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Anyway, we're ready. We're excited that the pier is going to be ready to go. As I was just saying, Joe, when you're out, by the time it's finished, we get to take it out for the season.
Yeah.
But it's closer. I think now that it can be seen, because somebody actually posted on our Facebook. We had put on Facebook that the project was starting, and somebody's comment was, "I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it." Well, now we're seeing it, so believe it.
Hi, Pat.
So I'm just getting. So they had me segue into the pier, but just to wrap up a couple other things that happened over the summer for the schools. Plum Cove, there was a lot of scraping and painting on the original school building. The shingle siding was replaced. Missing pane of glass in the gym area was fixed. Exterior hardware for classrooms and doors, new door and storage area in the loading dock, and repainted the handrails. GHS new lockers. I think there was a post on the Gloucester Schools website that showed the new lockers. 585 new lockers, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks pretty. The hall. They've done a great job. Our custodial staff cleaning the buildings, and then we already talked about East Vets that's going to be opening soon. So I'd be curious if anybody else that did get to go to one of the tours. If you could comment and let us know your thoughts, that'd be kind of interesting. We talked about the Magnolia Pier. So the East Gloucester School site is sort of the. Let's see. The school looks amazing. Time to embrace it. Yeah, thank you,
Frankie Gentile.
Frankie. All right.
Frankie has threatened, not threatened, I'm joking, to come on and you know how he does the bathroom sessions?
Yes, yeah.
Like I would, Frankie, when are you going to come on, Frankie? We keep talking about that. I think it's been 2 or 3, maybe since COVID, we've been talking about, because I think that's when he started the bathroom sessions, obviously, right through COVID. He keeps saying he's going to come on, and I still haven't come on.
I'm going to hear him come up the stairs with his guitar any minute. So
let's go.
Come on down.
Let's go. Have you ever played with Frank?
I did play with Frank briefly when I was in high school. He joined the Wave after we sort of had a little, the original band broke up. And I don't know if I've played with him since. So let's go back to the 80s.
There you go.
Which was the best music ever.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s. So East Gloucester School, the East Gloucester School site, as part of the deal of the new school, East Gloucester School is supposed to be raised, RAZED, to make space for, to make room for an open space, whether it's passive, the Wave, there we go, passive or active recreation. So we've sort of handed it over to the Open Space Committee to facilitate discussions, but we want to get the people involved. Money was borrowed above and beyond the cost of building the new school to rent the space at St. Anne's, excuse me, and do the field at Green Street, which will be the next thing we talk about, and to do the project at East Gloucester School. So the funding's in place. And
wow, so we're going to get 2 green spaces out of the deal.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
And so stay tuned for that. Like I said, we'll be doing some outreach to ask people to give us their thoughts. The other big one is the Green Street project. That was the big enchilada controversy was the loss of Mado's Field. So the agreement back in the day was, okay, we will create a new softball field, women's softball field at Green Street Playground, or the Green Street Field. That is underway. If anybody's driven by Gloucester Crossing, heading over to Dwola's Market Basket, you can see the mounds of dirt. So that is anticipated to be done by September 15th, according to the contract. It has to be, the grass seed has to be down by then, so we can have a fall and a spring growing season, and then it'll be ready to be used. So in addition to the field, as part of the field, we're moving the lights and the scoreboard that the Women's League spent a lot of time and effort to fundraise for. Those are being put in place over there. And additionally, there'll be a walking path around the whole park. We're calling it the Green Street Park Project, Improvement Project. The basketball court's going to be resurfaced, new backboards and everything.
It's going to be a new basketball court.
Right, where it currently is, though.
There's a basketball court up there?
Yeah, when you come in from Green Street, it's like straight ahead. Right. And then the playground area, the contractor pointed out that a lot of what's there we weren't planning on replacing that. And they pointed out a lot of it does not meet current code, and it's pretty much short money to replace it. So we're going to replace it all. We're going to resurface the parking lot on the Green Street side. We're going to create 35 parking spaces on the Gloucester Crossing side. So we have gained a construction easement to get in from Gloucester Crossing, and we're working on a permanent easement.
Great.
So
great use of it.
Yeah. And then you saw around the city, no pickleball. Stay tuned for pickleball. We're working on some very interested volunteers who want to do something.
There are a lot of passionate
passionate
pickleball players
that is an understatement.
that I hear from. Listen, I know how many times have I contacted you and say, "Can you do this? Can you do that?"
Never,
zero, right? Because that's not what I do. But a lot of people come up to me and say, "Can you get in his ear and get pickleball things?" So all those people that have asked me to ask him, I asked.
He's officially asked. Let's just touch on pickleball. So I pointed out to I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but a local person who's very interested, and I pointed him towards Lisa Nagallo as sort of like the poster child for a great project was the tennis courts. They just, Lisa and her husband, drawing a blank, Doug. They helped.
Oh yes,
They kickstarted it.
they have the studio right here.
Yeah, they kickstarted the
tennis
project,
courts.
the tennis courts at Gloucester High School. They put in a huge check to get it started. They helped raise the rest of the money. So that's sort of the gold standard of how to get a project on public property done. And so I'm hoping they connect. I talked to Doug the other day and talked to the other person a few days before that. So, I'm sure we can find a spot somewhere on city property that's not going to be too noisy for the neighbors.
Yes.
And
but I'm going to say this. I like pickleball as well, and I understand why these people are fanatical about it. But for all those people, how would you feel if it was in your backyard? So I think it does have to be in a place where you're not affecting.
Right, something that's a bit remote.
Yeah, because have you been around it?
Yeah, it's a click,
the
clock,
ping,
click,
ping,
yeah.
ping, ping. I think it would be like people complain about the windmills, the whoosh of the windmills. Nothing compared to like ping, ping. Like
Right.
If that was in my backyard, I don't complain about much. That would probably bother me. So yeah, just put that in your head. You have to think about that when they figure out a spot. Anyway.
So anyway, you've seen all around the city tons of paving, sidewalk projects. Perkins Street, Green Street have been done. Lower Gloucester Ave. Visitor.
Oh man, we're gonna bring Pat back on. Pat, you ready? Pat's in the wings, just waiting.
So a lot of
Bob's here. Oh
Hey.
yeah, that's right. Bob and Pixie. Bob, come
oh
on
great.
Wouldn't come down.
Pixie.
Speaking of the 400th committee,
Speaking of the four,
How you doing,
right
Greg?
here, guys.
Hey, Bob,
How are
Pixie.
you? Come on in, Pixie.
I'm just her cheerleader.
You're gonna be on
Yeah.
set too. Come on in. We got plenty of chairs.
Hey, see ya.
Too, Greg. How you doing?
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
50 states. We're gonna get.
Okay. No.
Mayor's finishing up with
Yeah,
his
wrapping up
segment.
here on
Yeah.
all the great things going on in the city. So
Yeah.
and that's good because I'll defer to you for 400 stuff. Tons of work at the Stage Ford area. Obviously, the street hockey rink. It's not street hockey. There's another name. They have their official name, but that
Yeah, I
rink.
know. Yeah.
Ball hockey. There you go.
Yeah.
The project behind where the cannons are. If you haven't been up there, take a look. The path is beautiful. It's people with mobility issues. I had somebody call me who was disabled, and they said they were able to get all the way up there now. The Rotary is
What is the date? Do you know the date for
the rededication.
Yeah.
That was they were pushing it for this weekend. I says we can't do it this weekend. There's too much going on.
Okay.
Sorry, next weekend. So it'll be later in September. So stay tuned. There'll be a rededication for that. And the Rotary has started their playground refurbishment project. So, and then obviously we know the sidewalk and the repaving of Huff Ave, and then Burnham's Field has a new fence around it and a lot of work being done there. And then just one thing I have here is the Comprehensive Planning Initiative, aka the Master Plan, on September 9th, 10 o'clock, Kyrie's Auditorium, is going to be sort of the kickoff and the first opportunity for the public to engage in the process. So Plan 2000 was from, as you might guess, 2000. That's 23 years ago. And it's absolutely time to update our master plan. I don't think that whoever's the mayor in 10 years should wait 20 years. I think this should be reviewed 5-10 years from now and make sure that things are getting done.
Yeah, because it's easy to get a grant for a plan, but then if you throw the plan in the trash, what are we doing?
And as the name implies, it's comprehensive. So it's going to be not just like roads or buildings, like everything that encompasses the city. And someone says the work being done in the city. I can't see what that says.
Bravo to all the work being done in the city.
Okay, yeah. So
Frankie Gentile.
Oh, Frankie.
He's the number one commenter today.
All right. Yeah, he really wants to get a seat here.
He said he wants to have you on a bathroom session.
Oh, great. All
And
right.
when we say that, it's a music thing. So.
It's nothing creepy.
Nothing creepy.
Thanks for clarifying
Oh,
that.
I know. He sings in the back.
Yeah. The
The
showers.
people who tuned in late, just so they know what we're talking about. So that's kind of it. Someone had asked about the water quality while you were out, but we had a post on the city website, a Facebook page about that. So basically, it's manganese, which is a result of runoff because of all the rain.
Yeah.
It's ugly, but it meets all the health standards by it's not even close to being not kosher as far as DEP standards. But we are working on part of it was also the shift from the Babson water plant to the West Gloucester plant. was delayed for some reason.
Huh.
And every year we do that, it creates as the water's stirred up, So we're on top of it, and I guess
I also saw that they had, if your clothes were stained or by something, that they had
DPW
the DPW had something that'll remove that for you.
Yeah, I think they send Rose LaPiccolo to their house to clean it. No, but they have something down there that can take care of that.
Yeah.
So any questions, call my office or the DPW.
Fantastic.
Wow, not bad.
You gonna hang in?
I'll hang in there.
All right, hang
All
in. I
right.
love it. I love it. Pixie Harrington, Bob Gillis right here. Pixie just completed 50
marathons in 50 states.
Wow.
Is that bananas?
Yeah.
Has anyone else done that? Is that a
Oh
Guinness?
no, it's a thing. It's a big thing.
It's a huge thing.
I did it once. There are people out there that have done it more than once. They've done it like 2, 3, and they're on their 4th time doing it.
Oh my God.
I don't know. They must be independently wealthy to be able to go that many times, but they do it.
What year did you start?
2004 was my first marathon.
So we're doing the math. 19
19 and a
years.
half years, yeah.
So
Well,
you're doing multiple.
Yeah.
How many? What was the most number of marathons you ran in 1 year?
4. I did that 3 times. 4 marathons in 3 years.
My
Wow.
Lord, how crazy is that?
I see
Yes.
Julie in the green.
Julie, come on in, Julie.
I
Julie
can-
LaFontaine. We
I
got,
can
no, we
make
got
room
another
for
seat
her.
right here. She
Yeah.
pulled that one right in between you and Bob.
Yeah, we'll do like the talk show thing. I'll move down.
Julie's in the green room.
Hi.
Hi,
You
Julie.
say when you're
Hi,
out.
everyone.
You know everybody here,
I
right?
do.
Yes.
All right, atta
You
girl.
managed not to knock your thing down here.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
There we
Hop
go.
on in,
Great.
kiddo.
How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Nice
Did
to
you
see
know? Are you familiar with what Pixie has accomplished?
Pixies?
50 marathons in 50 states.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Good
Yes.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
But I tell you, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I started in my 40s doing marathons.
Wow.
Yeah.
so you weren't like part of the track team
No.
all the time, always passionate about running.
No. In fact, Bob was always running, and I'd say, "What are you going to run for today? It's like raining out," and he'd be like, "I've got to run," and then eventually I said, "I think I'm going to start running," and he looked at me. He goes, "You're not a runner."
Whoa!
I'm
Ouch!
dying to say that.
Yes. So then that's when I said, "I'm going to start running."
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
There you It was on.
So I started in my late 30s or mid 30s, and then I did my first marathon in 2004, and it was the Arizona Marathon. It was a rock and roll inaugural marathon with my friend Cheryl Smith. And then from there, I was at the starting line. I've said this story a million times. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but there was a woman there, and she's like, "Oh, this is my 17th marathon." And I was like, "What? You do more than one?" And she's like, "Yes." She says, "You're either going to get addicted or you're going to be a one and done." And I got addicted.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I just started, packing them off, and just Bob and I would go on vacation. I'd do one there. We went to his parents down in West Palm and went to San Francisco, did one there. And then I realized when I did my 9th marathon was in the Maine marathon, and this guy had a 50 state club shirt on.
Oh, it was a thing.
Yes, it's a thing.
Oh, okay.
So he said, I said, "Whoa, that's a thing." And he said, "Yeah, once you do 10 marathons in different states, you can join." I said, "Oh, what does DC stand for?" Because I did the Marine Corps. And he said, "That's Virginia's." Because I told him this was my 9th one. And he said, "Oh, does that make 10? I go, "No, still 9. But at least I knew that DC was Virginia." So when I got to state 11, which now I don't remember which that was, I said to Bob, "Do you think I should join? Do you think I should do this?" And he said, "Go ahead. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. No biggie." So then I started to get more serious about putting more in. So the first few years I just did 2, and then eventually I would do 3, depending upon health, vacation schedules. I was a teacher, so I couldn't really do a lot during school time. So yeah, then eventually it was like once I reached 25, my halfway mark, I kind of got even more serious.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I got to do this.
I got to take care of myself.
Yeah.
You got to it's a
Right.
whole thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It keeps me out of trouble.
Well, hanging around with Marianne Shafford,
Yeah.
trouble, could be around. Could be around the corner at any
She's
minute.
a very good girl. She's
I
a
saw
positive influence.
I saw they did a beautiful.
Yeah,
thing
she
for
and all my friends. I want to say that all my friends, Marianne, they went above and beyond welcoming me home with all the decorations. They did the crow's nest, they did my house, and it was just unbelievable. And I am going to be in the newspaper, I think, at some point this week. And I don't think I remember to thank all my training runners, like all the people that came to me to the marathons, like all my friends that came to the marathons to run. They either ran a half and Marianne did a 5K in Iowa. And Kelly Sala went to the worst marathons ever. The most honky tonk ones. She went to West Virginia and Kentucky with me, and also Connecticut. But those two, we stayed in like crazy. And in one of them, I won some regional championship, which just depends on who shows up. And Kelly just looked at me and said, "We are not coming back here." That was in
no offense to anyone.
Kentucky.
No offense to anybody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But not she meant the hotel.
Yeah.
Not the state. But anyways, it was just really, so the training partners, some of them didn't get to go to the marathons. Like some of them are teachers, so they couldn't do it. And but those are the same people that got up at 6 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning, met me.
I always saw you guys doing your back show thing.
Yep.
Was it Kelly Lupo?
Well, there's a lot of them throughout the years.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to miss somebody.
Right.
But Amy Donnelly, Margaret Ross, Kelly Lupo, Sala,
the lot.
Beth Lott for
Lott,
sure. Cheryl Smith started it. Lynn Clarkson. Sharon Bragg is our newest member, and Sue Xavier. Lisa English was the old time, and Renee Longoria did it, and Kim Mitchell.
I can see the pressure right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to
Scared
remember.
to death.
Wendy Booker and Sherry Kukuru did some runs with us. I can't even. I'm going. Even Lacey Alves ran with us once or twice.
How about Jen Brooks?
She is awesome, but she's
trail runner.
But she's she's the upper echelon. I probably ran behind her at some point. Like she probably was out on a 30-mile run, and I was probably way back. And maybe ran this way too and saw her. I used to see her out there, but she and Lacey are a lot faster. But when Lacey was 8 months pregnant, she ran with us.
Oh my God!
I'm going to put that out there, Lacey.
God bless her. Yeah, Bob, you were involved with a runners club in Gloucester, the one that had the card on the front. What was the name of that?
Team
Gloucester.
Team Gloucester.
Yeah.
Does this still happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
So if someone's a runner and maybe they've moved here in the last 10 years and they weren't aware that this club is around, who would they get in touch with? Is there a website? Or?
There's no website anymore. We're very informal. We have a low bar for entry. But Steve Whitty is the guy that really controls it. It's an email. It's teamgloucester.com.
If you talk to him in the future or whatever, and he wants to put together like a press release, I'll be happy to share that because because this is obviously a funnel of information.
For the community. Yeah,
for the community.
Of course.
So, I'd love to because I know I used to love whenever there was a race. It's always nice, pride, civic pride. You see a race and you see those shirts go by.
Yeah.
I
wore it in my last race.
Did you?
Yeah,
she did. Last race in Alaska, she wore it.
Yep.
The mayor is going to be firing the starting gun tonight for the 400th anniversary 1 mile race downtown, starting at the UU Church.
Yeah. I love the course for this.
Come on,
Come
on in.
I love that it's 1 mile.
Yeah.
So it's inclusive.
Yes.
And I love that it's that the course is right through downtown.
Yeah.
I think that is brilliant, and kudos to the Gloucester 400 Athletic Committee for putting that together. We've posted it a couple times this week, but pretty important.
We appreciate.
You can go down there. What time should people show up at the UU?
They should show up between 4:30 and 5. The race starts at 5:30 tonight.
Yeah, 4:30 and 5 at the Universalist Church.
Yep.
Great location, down middle,
right in the heart.
Main Street,
middle to Pleasant, right on Main, right on Short Street. And
I think I might be able to do
You could do that.
Yeah, Joe.
Sure.
Come on, I'd love to have you in there.
If I get out of work in time, I'm going to do it. And I'm not a runner, and I have terrible knees, and I have like I'm almost next level scoliosis the way I walk.
Ha.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Love to
just-
have you. She's doing it.
I'm gonna go.
And that's downtown.
But I want to
mean,
show
that's a
you
downtown
the
Oh,
ride.
medal
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
race.
Oh, let's see. Hold
Wait
on.
till
I'll
you see
hold
what
it
it
up to
says.
here.
It says, it's kind of a Gloucester thing. It says, Fishiner. Wait,
Hold on one second.
that's
I'm
too-
trying to get the,
oh.
I know this is the way we can maybe get it to focus. Is it focus right there?
not really.
That's pretty good.
It's
right
better.
there. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
Better,
good.
Yeah.
but at the bottom says Fishiner. At first, someone
Instead
said,
of
"Is that
finisher.
is that a misprint?" I'm like, "No, they did that on purpose because it's Anchorage."
Oh, there you go. Fishner.
Yeah, Fishiner.
Fishner instead of Fisher.
Finisher.
Finisher.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're more
Yeah.
about
So do
salmon
you,
and
every
halibut.
marathon, do you get something like this?
Yeah.
Do you have a whole bunch of them?
I have 50 of them.
Oh, wow.
I have 50. We have a whatever.
Do you have a room, an awards room?
No, but we have a plaque
Shadow box?
with all the hooks on it and all the 50 states. And Bob has colored in each state as I finished.
Oh,
It's
wow.
yeah,
That's my job.
Yeah, all the training.
Try
Yeah,
to stay within the lines.
He's-
Yeah.
It's not
And and this was Salty Dog. You can have that.
Oh,
That
nice.
was in Homer, Alaska.
Homer. We have a lot of guys from Gloucester that go out there
Yeah.
and fish for
Yeah,
salmon and
halibut-
stuff like
halibut
that.
capital.
Yeah, really cool.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention we have a podcast. We do have a podcast prize today, donated from the Bluefin Blowout. This really nice comfort. Everybody loves the Comfort Colors T-shirts. Here it is. It's one of the crew ones.
Yeah.
So if you share the podcast and type shared, we will.
Oh.
You are entered to win. We do have a prize today, and my good friend Pauline from Pauline's Gifts donated a prize that we're going to do the next time. So I didn't forget you, Pauline. It's down on the truck, and I forgot to bring it up. Look at all the people sharing it right now. Bing, bing,
Oh,
bing,
yeah,
bing,
yeah,
bing,
We
bing.
have our flags flying in our yard, Pauline's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right up at the top of the hill for my open flag. You know what? Her service is unparalleled. I love Pauline to death. I love just popping into Pauline's shop, even if I'm not intended to buy anything, because she's so interesting and to talk to.
Oh yes. She's
Yeah,
very nice.
she's
Very
great.
nice. She is.
There's a
She's
lot.
great. She's very enthusiastic and she's always out there for everybody.
A
you know?
lot behind
Yeah.
the scenes. Yeah. So what do you do now? Do you retire, or what happens now?
No.
Puerto Rico.
What?
Puerto Rico, Guam.
I know. I thought of that, but we don't. They're not states yet, so I don't have to do them. Once, I think I'm just going to do some fun runs, and I always like to do it Christmas time. I always do the 5Ks and
Yeah.
around the North Shore, and I do have a couple of halves lined up. So I have one in Newburyport the end of October, and then there's a half in Key West in January that I'm planning to do.
So
I've been wanting to.
how
do.
many of the races were you plan your vacation around the race?
Yeah, we did
And
that a
how
lot.
cooked are you after the race? Can you enjoy your vacation?
Yes, that's when I really can enjoy it because I'm not nervous about it. But this time it was great because we went out to Denali for 3 days, went to Anchorage for 2, ran the race, and then we went down to Homer. So I was a little stiff, but I could still do everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My leg was a little whatever. But yeah, I've gotten used to it. People think, oh God, you must be so nervous. But I guess after like so many, I
Right.
kind of know the routine.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what to expect.
Yes.
So there's the anxiety.
Right.
of
I
like-
still, the thing that most makes me nervous is getting to the expo or to
Wait
pick up
till
my
you-
bib.
yeah.
Or I pick up my bib. Just got to pick up my bib. That makes me, once I've done that, I calm down a lot.
How about your dietary thing? Like, the day
Yeah.
before and stuff
Yeah.
like
Well,
that?
I try to eat some pasta, some protein. And then during the race, I should have brought one. I eat these goos. They're called goo.
Yes.
Yeah. So like this race, I had 3 of them. Some races I'll have all 5. It depends.
Yeah.
I usually take 5 with me, and I'll do it like every 5 miles. So this race actually was really cool in the morning, and so by mile 7 I took one, mile 14ish I took one, and so I was okay. Fuel-wise.
Describe your perfect race day.
Cold, cool, like starting in the 40s and getting up into the 50s is perfect.
40s.
47, 45,
Yeah,
somewhere around
gotcha.
there. And even a little damp is nice because it's refreshing if there's a little sprinkle sometimes. But
I would have thought dry.
dry is good. But if the sun comes out, it doesn't matter how. Like this race, it got up to 60 something, and it was hot because of the sun. They said it was going to be cloudy all day, but it wasn't.
So cloudy days better.
Cloudies are better, yeah.
Cloudy and cool.
Cloudy and cool.
Mm.
Those are the best running conditions I like, at least.
Mm.
And dry. Dry is good, but as long as it's cloudy.
Yeah, right.
Not sunny and dry, because the sun really beats down on you.
Wow.
And some races do have some shade and some don't. I did North Dakota in May, and when we got there, it was freezing, and we were wearing our coats, and you could see pictures of us like we're bundled up. The day of the race, boom, it gets warm, the sun comes out. It was like, oh my gosh, why couldn't it have been the race yesterday? So, anywho.
So are you still tending bar at the Nest occasionally?
Yeah, Tuesdays.
11
to 4:30.
Listen, if you haven't experienced Pixie and Marianne Shafford behind the bar together,
Well, that's a fun night.
just
Yeah.
drop what you're doing
Yeah.
and get done it.
We're gonna have to do that soon. We'll do another. We'll do it. We've kind of stopped doing it during COVID. We don't want the big crowds, but now we can. Now we can start doing our nights again. If anybody at the bar, the regular bartenders need a night off, and Marianne and I will volunteer together. We always do it together.
So I have for several years I have tried to plead and explain to anyone that is not aware how great the Crow's Nest is and how it is not how a lot of people perceive it to be.
Right, it's a family.
So I'm gonna leave it to you, retired school teacher,
Yes,
Pixie Harrington, a woman of stature in the community, to give your explanation. How do you describe the Crow's Nest?
it's a family. It's a total family. Everybody that comes in there, whether they're a regular or a tourist, they're greeted. They talk to everybody. And the regulars like to talk to the tourists and give them information. And we at behind the bar, we'll tell them where to go, which beaches are good right now or whatever, or get down to the museum or go down to Maritime. And we try to explain there's a lot more to Gloucester than just the beaches too. We have a lot of other things going on, and we give a lot of information. We could be tourist guides, but it's just, we greet everybody the same. And like I said before, the people that come in there, the regulars, they're hardworking. They just want to blow off steam, have a couple drinks, and relax. And it's a family.
It's a pretty laid back place.
It is.
And the way that bar is set up, it is set up to be communal and to share information and to start conversations.
Yes.
And people, I see people, especially in the weekends.
Yeah.
Dressed up with golf attire and stuff like that.
They come across the street from the weddings.
Yes.
They want to come in and check it out.
Yeah.
And there's a really neat tradition that you guys have. You have a book that people put dollar bills or
that
$5
started.
bills. Yes.
Somebody started that. We don't even know who started it. Some tourist started that. But yeah, we have our photo album that was stolen a couple years ago, which we got back in 3 days.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the photo album has photos from the Perfect Storm.
Right. Perfect Storm and other, and
memorabilia.
Memorabilia. Yes. Yeah. And so in that, as soon as somebody comes in that doesn't look like they're a regular, I'll say, "Oh, have you seen the book yet?" And they'll be like, "No, I heard about it," and we hand off the book to them, and they love it. And then someone started putting the dollar bills in there. So I don't know.
Do they sign the bills?
Yeah, they write on them.
They signed the bills, and then a couple years ago, the proceeds from that book were donated to the Open Door.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. Mary Ann took all the bills out. That's right, and donated them.
And it was really special.
Yes.
Talk about a donation with a history.
I know. That's right. So they're still doing it. So she'll have probably another bunch to give you. And that is funny. Yeah. And she also, going back to when her mom was the bartender, they do Thanksgiving dinner. They do a Christmas dinner, and that's all free. It's all to anybody that wants to come in.
Richie Barisi, our guy.
The meatballs, the best
challenge
meatballs.
for the best meatball in Gloucester, right there.
I know.
I love Richie.
Yep, he helps out, and Manny from Seaport Grill helps out. Yeah. They all.
Those, you know what? It's
it's a family.
the perception. If you've been in there once,
Right.
But if you haven't been in there because you're afraid to go in there,
Yeah.
it is not a bucket of blood. It is it is absolutely a fantastic place to visit. And as far as I am concerned, the best Bloody Marys in Gloucester. So
Yeah, I will give Greg that. He and Greg Susan, not
Yeah.
you, Greg.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
He does make the best Bloody Marys, and he's always like we follow his recipe to the T. But when a bunch of people come in, I'll go, "Oh, Greg, they all want Greg Bloody Marys." And I'll go, "You can do them," but half the time he'll take over.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of times, like not this time of year because it's too busy down the wharf,
Yeah.
but like in the winter, in the spring, we have a gang go down there,
Yeah.
and he just rolls his eyes like, oh,
I
no,
know.
10 Bloody Marys coming
Yeah.
up. He's got them all
Because
lined
they're
up.
not pre-mixed. Every Bloody Mary is individual. That's the thing.
That's
So
service.
yeah, that is. So like if someone doesn't want it spicy, he won't put in as much horseradish, things like that. So they're made to order. So we don't have a mix. You go to a lot of restaurants, they pull out the, and then they just shake it. Oh, there's your Bloody Mary,
Nothing can
No.
compare. Nothing can compare.
Nope.
Absolutely.
It's made to order.
Yeah. Oh, hold on one second. Oh. Let's see. Hey, you guys ready? All right, cool. All right, I'll be right there. Hold on one second. We're going to bring On Point Pat is in the background, and she's going to lead the discussion. Pat, you ready to go? Yes, she is. Look at that.
We're ready.
I got a
Joe's got a job.
Yeah, I know. It's not
He's
just
got a real job.
That's a real job.
Well, hi. How you doing, guys?
Good.
What's
Good.
that?
That's not.
That's Jim.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew that.
So we have Julie here. Julie, did you come to talk about something specific or?
I came to join this great group of people, and I'm glad I got a chance to participate. But I am here to talk about September as Hunger Action Month, raising awareness of hunger in our community. And we have some fun things on deck. The color of hunger awareness is orange. So we're going to be painting the town orange. And starting with having City Hall lit orange for the month of September. So if you notice that orange light, you can be reminded that somewhere someone's maybe going to bed hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Oh, that sounds like a great initiative. I'm going to have to get out my orange. I don't know how much orange stuff I have. I'm going to have to
I
look.
have a lot of orange stuff.
Yeah. So this is a call to Gloucester and Cape Ann and beyond to help us paint the town orange. If you have orange items, please wear them. And if you get a chance to talk about it with people, say, I'm wearing orange in recognition of Hunger Action Month. And we have a whole list of local businesses and restaurants that are going to be helping us out, getting the word out with some special drinks on some menus at the Beauport.
Now you're talking my
Okay,
language.
now that's there.
And I believe Brothers Brew will be doing something special that's orange over in Rockport. And Cake Ann will be doing something special. Holy Cow will be doing something special. And there'll be a number of items on the menu at both Seaport Grill and the Beauport Hotel. And a bunch of other surprises along the way.
Oh, what are the dates again, please?
So it will be for the entire month of September, but the mayor is going to proclaim September Hunger Action Month, and there will be, I believe, right at 9:00 on September 14th. It's a Friday. He'll read the proclamation over on Emerson Avenue, and we invite the public to join us. But if you come, please wear orange and bring an orange food item to donate. And the mayor is here, and you've been doing some great collections. You want to talk about that?
So there is a bin at City Hall, right as soon as you come in the building. I think it's already been emptied at least once, if not more. So keep those non-perishables. That's right.
Yes, non-perishables.
And
don't put a turkey in there because we might not get it in time.
Yeah, that might not be so cool.
That would be terrible.
And other bins elsewhere that they could
So there are bins around the community at the grocery stores and different places to participate in, and you can always come to 28 Emerson Avenue and drop off your non-perishable food items. And for you gardeners out there, if you have extra produce, which I think this is September actually is Sneak a Zucchini onto your neighbor's porch month, you can sneak some of those zucchini onto our porch over at the open door, and we'll put them to good use in our kitchen.
Is there any? I'm sorry, Mayor. Is there any special item besides zucchinis that you
So
want to see? I know you have cereal month, and now school's starting, and I'm sure you got a list.
And so we do. So it's back to school. So if you really think about those snack packs the snack that you send with your kids every day, just healthy snacks, juice boxes are great things to be donating this time of year. Ever and always, we need peanut butter, tuna fish, cereal, 100% juice, and just condiments, coffee, the kinds of things that we might just take for granted when we go grocery shopping, but really with the inflationary cost impacting our grocery budget, really can make it tight for someone to get those things. And so here in Gloucester, 1 in 6 Gloucester residents access our services, either one of our meal programs or our food pantry or mobile market. And the mayor just asked us how our building project was coming along. For those of you who don't know, we've been under construction for a little more than a year. We bought the old food co-op that was right next door to us, right in our side yard setback, our armpit, if you will. And we've been able to connect the two buildings together with a commercial production kitchen. And that commercial production kitchen will allow us to increase our capacity to take that food rescue food, like the zucchini and the things that have plenty of nutritional value that get donated to us, and turn them into soups and sauces and grab and go items and things that just make it easy.
We have Peter Rollins is asking, I don't know if Pat already asked this, but asking how can people get involved as far as being a volunteer?
Oh, we love volunteers. Volunteers are the lifeblood of the organization. And in particular, I mean, Bob and Pixie have been volunteering, delivering meals. So we have meal delivery for people who are qualified for a meal delivery. But we also right now are putting out a big call for people to work in our fulfillment center to pick and pack orders. So during the pandemic, the Open Door pivoted like the rest of the world to work smarter and not harder. We used an online ordering system so that you can go online and order groceries just like any other online grocery ordering system. And then there's a volunteer back at Emerson Avenue that will take your ticket and pack it for you. And then either it'll get delivered if you're on the delivery route or you choose a pickup time. But we need volunteers to help us get those orders picked and packed. Bob and Pixie, what's it been like for you guys volunteering?
It's a lot of fun. It really is. You meet people along the way. There are people that we've known for many years that just need a helping hand, and it's a wonderful, fulfilling thing to do. It doesn't take a lot of time.
And all the other volunteers too. They just everybody just works together, and it's wonderful. I did the pick and pack, whatever. And it was like, okay, to find everything. And it was easy. It was fun, but it just took a little learning curve, but everybody was very helpful, so don't be intimidated. You can volunteer and you can figure it out, and it works.
I know
a couple hours a week.
Yeah.
A couple hours a week is all it takes.
Pat and Jimmy volunteer, Brandon Pratt volunteers, and every one of them right down the line have all said the same thing. They leave there feeling really good.
Yes,
you get something. You're getting something back emotionally. Yeah.
And if you don't have time to volunteer or you can't make it to a bin to put some food in, checks and credit card and all that stuff is just as good.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate that. Yes. Yeah. So foodpantry.org if you want to make a donation, if you don't have the time to volunteer, or shoot us an email at info@foodpantry.org. We'd love to have you come down and see the facility. It's almost completed. The kitchen, we've been 3 weeks in the new kitchen, and it's just amazing. You have to come down and check out some of the equipment.
Come down. Pat and Jimmy will go down and do a remote. I know they'll be up for that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then we have, and mark your calendars, on Saturday, November 4th, the long-awaited ribbon cutting. And it will is something that we want the whole community to come to and help us celebrate the completion of this project,
Yeah.
which is a real asset for the community.
Absolutely.
As backyard growers, are you guys crossing paths on anything, any projects?
So we are not affiliated, but we are grant partners. And in particular, we had them work on our garden beds, and they're our kitchen gardens, and the side yard on the other side. There are 12 raised beds in which we grow herbs and I think peppers and tomatoes and things for the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they are a great partner in getting that done.
Yeah.
The other way that we love to partner with them is on the nutrition education piece. And so our nutrition education coordinator and their team will work together, either going into schools or doing something on site to engage kids and help them learn about how their food is grown, how it gets to the table, and what happens in between.
Yeah. Not all food is created equal. Pixie, if anyone in this group would know, you can.
I see it.
This portion of crap food is going to fuel you for this,
Right.
And this portion of really good, nutrient dense food is going to pack that much energy into.
And you need the right celery for the
Bloody Marys.
That's
For the Bloody Marys, right?
We're more into the olives.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that sounds like a Bloody Mary I could drink.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
But Joey, you do bring up a really great point. When dollars are short, you're looking for calorie-dense foods instead of nutrient-dense foods, or foods that your kids will eat.
Right.
I mean, we know that we want to feed our kids fruits and vegetables, but if they're not going to eat them, they're not going to be full.
Right.
So, I remember it's always stayed with me working with a focus group almost 15 years ago and having moms talk about the ways that they worked with the food to make it look like it was more like boiling pasta longer so it was bigger, adding water to juice or milk so that it would go further, and just all the things that you do to just really make ends meet.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Again, we have the link on the page. That's a link that will get you a wealth of information on how to volunteer, how to contact them, how to donate. We say it all the time with the Gloucester 400 thing that people say, "Oh, I don't know about the events." Just go to the website. We always defer to that. Use your Google machine, type in the words, it'll bring you there. I promise. There you go. Right.
I want to say one more thing about my family because they'll kill me. That my brothers and my sister-in-law have come to a lot of the marathons with us, and we've had a great time. And they came to this last one. They wanted to be there. They went to Maui, of course. They wanted to go to Maui, but they came to Alaska, and we had a great time. And they've been so supportive. And I do wish, to give them a shout out. Kevin, Lois, Paul.
Yeah.
So
because they might have picked San Diego or Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, they could,
Naples, Florida, but they went to Alaska.
They went to Alaska. Poor,
God bless
poor
them.
people. Yeah.
So give me your top 5 marathons.
Oh, that's too hard. But
well, give me a couple of the most visually stunning marathons.
Well, Aspen was my worst marathon. I was injured, but it was the most beautiful. Aspen, Colorado. Yeah, it was just gorgeous. And I always said if I ever did another one again, which I'm never going to, but if I ever did, that would be the one because I want to redeem myself, because I was injured, but it was beautiful. I loved Duluth, Minnesota. It started off rainy, but it turned out beautiful along Lake Superior. And the people in Minnesota. Yes, it was gorgeous. And also, the people in Duluth were unbelievably friendly and nice. Minnesota nice. They were. I love doing St. Jude's because that's for St. Jude's in Memphis, Tennessee, and I became an Elvis fan. I did, and then there was so many. I'm trying to think of. Of course, Maui was beautiful, and we're so sad about what happened to Lahaina. Because that's where we finished. That's where we started. Picked up my number there, and then. Anyway, so that's sad. They're planning to do it again, though. The race director's planning to do it again. What else? I'm stumped. Alaska was beautiful. I mean, Alaska was. Oh yeah. Oh,
I can imagine.
That was gorgeous.
Is where? See, I'm not familiar with the look at, but were there mountains that went down to the ocean, or what was it more like?
Well,
was it more
we saw
like
that. No, we saw lots of. No, there was mountains everywhere in Alaska.
Yeah.
Wherever you drive, there's mountains. Wherever you are, there's mountains. If you're looking at the ocean, you can see the mountains in the distance.
And what was Homer like compared to? How would you compare and contrast Homer to Gloucester, Massachusetts?
It was more spread out. Like the houses aren't close together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there was one area where we saw a lot of like like what do you call neighborhoods, but we stayed way out on a cliff almost, and it was the houses there were like very far apart and beautiful, but downtown on that, what's it called? The Spit, they called it. It was sort of like Rockport in a way. It was like a long. It was almost like it was a causeway.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
It was a causeway down.
And everything on either side of the
Yes,
road.
lots of
Yeah.
shops and
One main road.
restaurants,
Yeah.
and that's where the salty dog is. That's famous, the salty dog. They have dollar bills pinned up all over the place. Like you can add a dollar bill, but it's going to be in the mix, you know.
Yeah.
So we did add our dollar bills, and that was cool.
Fishing boats lined up all along the Spit,
Yeah.
mainly halibut
So on the
boats
other
for
side of
most
it,
part.
almost like Rockport, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
and they have
similar.
lots of
Very
piers. The piers went out, and there's boats all over the place. They're all working boats.
Yeah.
And they're all halibut is their main fish. Their halibut capital. And we did get halibut, and it was delicious. It was the people that, like, when we went into the Salty Dog, we walked in the minute it opened, so we got to talk to the bartender and everything, and that was really cool. That day, Bob and Robbie and Freya made these. My daughter-in-law made these.
That's awesome.
They came over from Oregon and met us in Anchorage, and then came down to Houma with us. But they went on a airplane ride over to watch the Grizzlies.
Oh my goodness.
Bob, Robbie, and Freya.
That must have been something.
So when they did that,
Wow.
Kevin, Lois, and I went into the Salty Dog.
Now,
Priorities.
did you
Gender
think of a
priorities.
crow's nest? Yes.
Yes.
Crow's
Oh, yes.
nest
It
bumper
was like a
sticker or-
crow's
yeah,
nest
yeah.
vibe. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
was. And the bartender was really friendly, and she was telling us. And that weekend, again, was the best weekend they'd had all summer. She's like, finally, summer's here. So we brought the good weather with us.
Of course you do.
Imagine that.
I know. So
I have to mention, because we haven't even mentioned it since the start of this podcast, and I can't believe we haven't. Next weekend, in case you're not aware, it's Schooner Festival.
right.
I think Pat has the graphic for some of the lineup, but Schooner Festival is in case you haven't heard, it's kind of a big deal. It's one of my favorite events. I wish I didn't have to work for it, but if you don't have to work and you don't get down there, you're a crazy person. Pat, are you still with us? Maybe you could. I could see her furiously working. Oh, we got Scoonie Boo Boo down in the corner there. Did you see down here? There's a Schooner watching the podcast. Yeah, you had it, Pat. Oh, there you go. All right, Scoonie, how you doing, pal? Nice. He's gonna be a regular. There you
He's
go.
got his.
The future.
Wee woo, wee woo. All right, Pat, can you put that graphic up? Thank you. She's the best. All right. So Maritime Heritage Day, celebrating maritime traditions, Saturday. That's the one where they have down on the pier, and it's a tremendous family-friendly event. They have family food trucks, which is always a great thing. Schooner Festival, the program. If you go to their website, it's what's the website? She'll put a link up. It's too much, but really, it's a weekend long thing. Oh, and also we need boats for the Boat Parade of Lights, which we also have a flyer for that. The Boat Parade of Lights is on September 2nd. I don't know if I gave you the graphic for that. Oh, we got little tsetse flies there.
Yeah,
Come on, get you. Boat Parade of Lights. Do we have that graphic? Oh, here it is. There you go. Saturday, September 2nd. And they want houses and businesses along the route to get decorated. It starts at 7 p.m. on the Annisquam River. It goes through the Annisquam River out into the outer harbor, past the paint factory, into Rocky Neck, down into Cripple Cove where we are, and then around, and then it goes past the Hurricane is the official judge's boat. The Hurricane is right off of where the Coast Guard station is. Wait, is it the Coast Guard? No, I guess it's going to be right off of the fort, in between the fort and the paint factory is where the judging boat will be. And I believe they still have tickets. If you want to go on the Hurricane, Cape Ann Whale Watch Hurricane, you can get tickets. And it's a great time. I think they have a DJ and they keep you pretty occupied during the whole thing. So I don't know if this is a scam. No. Okay, Pat, you can get rid of that that comment right there. Sometimes we have people that just try to sell stuff. Yeah, not a big deal, but there's that. Where are we at right now? Oh, perfect, 1 hour. Anybody else have anything that they want to add that I missed as far as events coming up?
All kinds of things coming up with the 400, starting with the race tonight. A lot of things, either 400 or 400 associated with the 400, and we have the dedication of the cannons coming up on Monday, right?
No, we talked about that earlier.
Was that postponed too?
Yes.
Okay.
I said there's too much going on this week,
Gotcha.
that weekend to deal with it. So,
Okay.
Later in September.
Later in September. Okay.
It'll be a standalone event. Instead, so a lot of these weekends, there's been, again, this is like such a terrible burden that we have to bear. That there's so much culturally happening in our town that you have to choose. So many events are happening on the same day. So I think it's a tremendous move to push that off. So it'll be a standalone
Spread
event.
out the fun.
Yeah.
And speaking of stage 4, so we're also pretty soon you'll see staging going up to renovate the tablet rock, both the granite frame and the tablet itself. So
yeah. So yeah.
And of course, the Rotary Club is working on the playground equipment as well. So,
and they're taking donations too to help fund that. So.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. It's probably the most beautiful park in the country.
Right. And I just did real quick. I know we're trying to close.
No, of course.
But so there's a lot of people see a lot of stuff going on, and they're worrying about the spending. But so not a whole lot of that has come from the general fund. A lot of it's paid for through the ARPA funds, community block grants, some leftover ESSER funds on the school side. So it's not building up our debt. So thank you, Uncle Sam.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So again, you can go to Discover Gloucester. They have a tremendous amount of information about what's happening. Gloucester 400, another wealth of information. Maritime Gloucester website has a tremendous amount of information. Whenever you have any questions, there's no excuse to say I didn't know about it. Just check out these websites. We posted everything on Good Morning Gloucester. If you subscribe, you probably already know about it. But I see people around town say, "Oh, I didn't know this was happening." Gloucester 400, Discover Gloucester, Maritime Gloucester, all great websites, and the Chamber website as well has a wealth of information. So there's that.
We have 11 shares.
11 shares. Okay, we're gonna we'll give people another 30 seconds to share it. Blueprint blowout. We have a Comfort Colors shirt right here. They donated. So if you Comfort Colors, super soft and comfortable.
Joking at that last comment about Cressy's Beach, I do not believe we're able to move those rocks because of environmental limitations.
There you go. Okay, there's that. So if you share the podcast and type shared, you'll be entered to win this. And Pauline's gift is donated a prize for the next podcast. We'll be giving that away. So, Pat, you said there's 11 shares? 11 people entered. You have 10 seconds to share it and type shared, and you'll be entered to win as well. You have to pick it up within a week or it goes back in the prize pack. All right, got all that out. I'm going to go to our handy dandy number picker here. There it is. 1, 2, 11. I don't see any shares coming up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Here's the pick. And no shares still.
What's going on, sweet boy?
Number 10.
Number 10, Ed Collard.
What a surprise, Ed Collard. What a surprise.
All right, Ed.
All right, Ed, send Amy down or Adam down to pick it up within a week, or it goes back in the prize pack. That'll fit you too, Ed. So
that'll look good on you, Ed.
That'll look good. Well, everything looks good on Ed. He's such a handsome son of a gun. There's that. All right, we're gonna close it out. Pat, I'm gonna make us small, and I want Jimmy front and center for this. Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, no piping plovers were harmed in the making of today's podcast. Thank you.
Little town with big news. 411, come get the scoop. Wake up with Joe and the rest of